Hi, I'm Diane.
I'm Paul.
And we are
Car Zombies!
Where's your zombies?
I don't have to do zombies, that's your job.
Okay, what are we going to talk about this week?
Car diagnostic systems. Did you just diagnose me? Sometimes your car doesn't work. In your case, your car isn't working now because it
was in limp mode, and it wasn't my fault, but I don't want to ruin that surprise.
She still thinks I'm to blame. The transmission wouldn't shift. They call that limp mode because you can't do anything but limp around the car. It just runs in second gear. Now this is the second to last, I promise, video on our transmission because we did actually figure this out, and we're going to talk about that journey, but it takes a while to get there. And the next step we went through in trying to fix limp mode was to get a diagnostic tool that gave us more like a Mercedes computer analysis of the engine. Now we started off, we tried a very rudimentary ODB car diagnostic system early on, and it just gave us one code, P015 or something like that, and that's all we could get out of it. We couldn't see other codes. I mean, it just really wasn't telling us enough about what's going on. And that really makes a difference because before, remember we changed your conductor plate,
yes,
and it didn't change anything. Still had a check engine light, still had limp mode.
Yeah, yes.
And it didn't change anything.
Yes.
And we were hoping to use a car diagnostic system to turn off the check engine light, see what the codes are, and turn off limp mode. All right, first step was the day we changed the conductor plate. That morning I gave you the tool.
And it was iCarSoft 3.0 for Mercedes.
Yeah, and so let's start there. You're already opening up your new toy.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think you like this even better than the dipstick.
Well, I like computers.
That's true, you are techie.
There we go. Got it. Or do I press enter?
You probably have to use the arrows and enter.
Passenger seat. Stationary heater, 100%. So let's wait. No support on this vehicle.
No, okay, it didn't work, but you know what? I did some more research and the tool is supposed to work on your car, so I ordered another part from Amazon. Let's take up where that went. All right, it's been 2 days since the disappointing failure.
Yes.
But we don't know if we really failed because we were never able to reset the computer, right?
Right.
Well, we were going to return this reader because it wouldn't work. And then I was doing some research trying to figure out what to do next. And I noticed that this reader just flat out wouldn't read anything, the engine or anything, when I set it up for this car. But when I set it up for a model that was 3 years later, it actually read the engine control module, just wouldn't read the transmission control module.
Okay.
And that told me, now why is it not read when it's set up for the car it's supposed to go with? And then I discovered that this model car, although it has an ODB2 plug under the steering wheel, which is where we've been plugging it in, it has an adapter which we ordered and got from Amazon quickly overnight. And this plugs into the ODB2 slot on the back of this to the card reader. And this side, which is supposed to go into their Mercedes main plug. So this is where the technicians, a Mercedes technician, will actually plug into their big fancy machine into your engine.
Okay.
All right, so here, let's show them that.
Okay.
To show them that, we need to pop open the hood. Okay, I'm gonna open the hood. Here we are at the front of the car. Here's the engine, and on our car to the left, there's this round button hole thing. Turn it, and at some point it'll just come right out. And I'll show the bottom, see how it's kind of a bar there? And inside here, there's notches. So when those notches are lined up with the bar, it comes straight out. And see inside there, a big, huge plug that we're supposed to plug the Mercedes thing into. Okay, this is a selfie. Okay, so on the older Mercedes, a lot of them didn't have the ODB plug that you have underneath the steering wheel. So they designed the tool to always assume it's going to go in the front. At least that's what I'm hoping, because we bought that adapter now. It wouldn't work at all because it's sending out codes that's expected it to be translated into the big, huge 38-pin adapter.
Oh, I see.
And so those codes are different than what a normal ODB codes are. How bad was my filming? Okay.
You did a great job.
Thanks. Okay, so now let's plug the tool into here.
Okay.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. I see clearly that there are two notches here and here. They're, you know, if you put this little notch at the top, that would be noon and about 4 o'clock. And I see similar notches in fact, the way you're holding it, you see it at noon and 4 o'clock. There's another notch way over here, but it's on the outside going the wrong way. We want notches that are like we could go into from the round circle, so it's connected to the circle. So I'm gonna align this up where noon and 4 o'clock would be. Noon up here, 4 there. Line it up, it goes right in.
Oh.
Okay, ready to do it?
Ready.
So let's push diagnostics, which is already selected, so I'm gonna hit enter. Mercedes-Benz, current latest software version, which I downloaded. And for vehicle select, we're going to do it manual.
Okay.
Scroll all the way down till we see the CLKs. You're a 209, or 208, I'm sorry, the older model. Ready?
Ready.
Coupe.
Yes.
The next page is we're 430.
Yes. Reading the VIN code from vehicle.
So it read the VIN code. We got this far before. Hit OK with the F1. Now let's do quick test. Enter. Switch the ignition to on. So now we need to switch it.
Okay, 2 clicks.
That's it. Everything. That's the one. Now let's hit enter. Transmission control module scanning 3%. That was fast. It may be a fault, it says. Maybe a fault means it found the fault that's in there. It says 6 faults or fault 1. It's might be reading it.
It looks like it's kind of.
Maybe it read the codes. Fault in the electronic stability program. It's gone a lot further. It's saying fit in and stuff. We were never getting those. So that was why the meter wasn't working.
This is exciting.
This is the first time this device has worked. So we found the problem with the device and needed to go through the other connector. Okay, so let's go enter on transmission control module and see what those faults are. Maybe that's more than just that one thing.
Read fault code.
Reading the fault codes, please wait. Okay, resistance too low. Transmission oil temperature sensor or component. 3 of 6, starter lockout contact is sporadically faulty or both.
It's not what I thought it would be.
I don't know what that means. Enter to save it, so let's do that. So that it'll save, so it saved it as a file on the disk.
Oh, nice.
On the little memory stick. F1 is back. All right, that's 1. Let's go down to see if we can get to number 2. 2, resistance too low. Can communicate with the engine system is sporadically disturbed. Can communication, I don't know what that is.
No, I don't know what a CAN is.
Voltage supply of the speed sensor is faulty.
Acronym CAN.
Well, we're gonna have to go through all of these.
Yeah. So do we have to save, should we save all these codes and then?
Before we clear them, I think we should. You know, these could be years ago too, you never know.
Yes, there's no date, which is sad.
Okay, so let's go back. And then here, what is view data? I'm kind of curious. Engine speed, upshift, downshift.
Oh, that's interesting. Actual gear.
Select all. So it's just telling you what it is actually at the current moment. If we had the engine on right now, we could do this and see those values.
That's cool.
It's like we really have a full Mercedes-Benz computer now, doesn't
tool,
it?
yeah, it's awesome.
Neat. All right, so that was just, you could pick a specific unit and do it. And then there's a service mode, which is where you could reset things like the oil light, reset the oil light, reset the BSC, and reset the engine control module. Now, I don't know why you would do that, but I know the oil one, but I don't know about the other two.
That's awesome.
All right, setup is for this device, like turning off the beeps, which is the first thing you have to do when you buy this device.
I see.
Let's look at the voltage. The battery is coming in around 12 volts, like it should. During this test, it's pretty good, actually, not too bad. It's your battery voltage in real time.
It's my car heart rate. Oh! It's alive!
That's pretty cool stuff, huh? Mm-hmm. All right, so let's see. I think we did everything we could do. So let's go try to save the data before we reset any other codes. 4 o'clock. I'm gonna put it back in. Okay, Di, I'm gonna reset your fault codes, all right?
All right, once you reset it, the check engine light may come off?
I don't know. We're gonna find out.
But I like this. Transmission oil temperature sensor. Resistance too low.
Oh, you got it all printed now.
Yeah.
Want to show the camera?
Yeah. This is all about the transmission.
It's got all our fault codes on it. Isn't that awesome? It's a nice system. Just hook up the PC software you download, and you use a USB cable to hook it up to the PC, and then you select weird buttons, something like report printer. It prints the report. Hey, Di, we got a lot more faults this time.
What you just did?
I think so. It looks like a lot of things. I don't know. We got them all before.
Oh.
Well, I'm going to clear them all, okay? When I'm all done, I want to go recheck and see if it detects something again.
Okay.
Okay, the engine control module still has a fault after everything's erased. Right now, if I go in, it says that there's only a couple of fault codes it couldn't erase.
Yeah, I was thinking the historic ones
the historic one should be gone now.
Nice.
Transmission passed, it said. You have no fault codes on your transmission.
Interesting.
Okay, everything's good. Now I'm going to close the door, turn off the fan, and we're going to start the car. Oh, I'm so interested in what's going to happen next. Okay, check engine light went off.
Yes.
That's huge.
Did you want to drive?
No, I think it's fine if you drive.
Okay.
Okay. So, it said you got a couple of fault codes on your transmission. They were related to voltage sensors being a little high or low. So, we don't know if that's going to be a permanent problem or what. So, we'll have to look that up at some other point in the future. Okay, kid?
Okay.
So, we'll take a little drive and see what happens.
It's not shifting at all. So that was great. We got our check engine light off, but it isn't done yet.
Yeah, so we got another video of what we did the next day to try to understand why we were getting speed sensor errors, thinking maybe that was holding us in limbo. I noticed when we were we finally got that in our last video, we finally got the little computer reader to read the codes, but we had to hook it up underneath the hood. Let me show you what I did today. I took up 4 screws off the top of this box and took it off. And then I took 2 screws off of the connector so I could connect it up at an angle. And the reason I did that is otherwise it was standing straight up, and if you closed the hood, you would bend all the wires and maybe break some. So then I took this around this route so that it doesn't get pinched by the hood. Let me close this. As you can see, the wire comes on up through the sunroof and hangs down. So let's get in the car and drive, Di, and I'll show them why I did that, okay? So you hook up the reader in the car, and then I was able, when we were doing the diagnostics, Di, I noticed it had a section where you could actually get real-time diagnostics, like what is the actual RPM of the engine and things like that.
Cool.
And so I hooked up the computer this way so we could go driving and see what the RPM is. The last diagnostic and only one we had on the transmission is that there was a speed sensor error. So we want to see if it's getting proper speed from the wheels and things like that.
Okay.
And this computer will tell us that. So we go into diagnostics, we go ahead and set it up for your car. Go to the transmission control unit, which is the one we want to work with. Data, or view data. We're going to go down to view data, hit enter. Now it's showing me in real time what my engine speed is and stuff, but it isn't showing anything. 0 RPM all the way down the board. So this tells me that the transmission control unit isn't reading any data right now, which is not good.
Oh, okay.
So go to the EPS and set view data, and it has RPM sensors, which is what we want to look at. Hit enter, and now this shows us the RPMs of all of the wheels. And this will show us that these sensors are working or not. We couldn't get it from the transmission control module, but we can get it going straight to the EPS. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to put this in your lap, or can you hold it with your one hand and film it?
Sure.
Now, as I drive, we want to see when I'm going straight, all of the numbers should be similar. Are they kind of coming in similar?
Yes, they are.
All right, I'm just going to go down the street and back. And when I turn, like right here, all of a sudden the wheels on, like the back right one may have been a little slower on a right turn, and the back left one will be a little slower on a left turn. All right? Is that coming through?
Yeah, it's coming through.
And they're all reading just fine, right?
Yes.
So we're going to turn left at this street right here.
I kind of feel like a human tripod right now.
You are kind of a tripod. So if this data is good, but it's not getting the transmission control module, then there's something either wrong with the transmission control module or the cabling to it, because we're getting it from the brakes.
Okay.
So Di, we're getting closer.
Yeah, so we know how to reset the check engine light. We know how to read our codes.
Right.
We know about the sensors.
Yeah, we know the sensors are going to the brakes, but for some reason they're not going to the transmission control module.
Right.
So please subscribe.
Please give us a thumbs up if you like us.
Yep, and we'll get to the bottom of this transmission control module and this limp mode in the next video.
All right. See you later.
Thanks, bye.
You ready?
I think so. Wow, that's zombie love.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Paul.
And I'm Diane.
And we are Car Zombies! All right.